Today in the crypto space, we see Bitcoin rising ever so slightly to higher levels, 59,000 for Bitcoin, Ethereum right around that $3,170 mark, up approximately 2%. Pretty good here for Ethereum, and the rest of the crypto space kind of going sideways, mix of green and red. We have a few good gainers like Near Protocol, Altcoin, Arweave, and a few others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that is looking pretty good since that it's hitting horizontal support, and that project is called Kujira. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunities, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the chat. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the top 100. First, we'll take a look at the general market. We'll use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. Take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll take a look at Kujira. What is KUJI up to? Market cap is rising. You can see the total market cap is doing pretty good. It's up approximately 1% for today. It does look like a rising wedge. It could be looking for a breakout to the upside, but currently the trading volume doesn't suggest that or support it. You know, we see a volume that is kind of stagnant like this, kind of going sideways at the bottom, not really getting an impulse to the upside. Means that there's not much market participation into this move, which leads me a little bit reserved, in the capabilities to see Bitcoin kind of roll over here from an ascending wedge. Ascending wedges do have a bit of a bearish bias, but it doesn't mean that it has to come down for an absolute a bigger lower low. It just means that maybe a test of the lower range bottoms might be possible here. So Bitcoin, is doing its thing, kind of going sideways, looking for a breakout to the upside. It could be really good. It could be really, really good, but I would love to see some volume into here, which is really good. And if you look at the Bitcoin chart, which we'll do in a second, technically speaking, it's actually not bad of a level to expect Bitcoin to get a bounce. Now, of course, if many individuals are looking for that same bounce, it is very likely that we see the market induce a bit of pain for the majority of the market. Max pain scenarios do happen, so be careful out there. Ethereum, also grinding to the upside, up approximately 3.5%, so doing pretty good, and also outperforming Bitcoin, which means that the Bitcoin dominance technically should be falling today. So obviously we'll talk about the Bitcoin dominance tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. If you have any projects that you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to make those requests, and I'll put them in top priority. Let's keep on going down. Let's see what's going on here. We do see BNB, Solana, and many others slowly now grinding to the upside. Yeah, we saw a lot of them get that higher low. A bit of them are getting a bit of follow through, which is good. Even XRP is looking pretty good, maybe looking for that breakout. We do see Cardano's looking actually pretty good, 5.2% to the upside, and we're seeing a lot of the larger cap altcoins showing a bit of strength here. So for sure the Bitcoin dominance should be falling in the next little while. We should see a continuation if the altcoins continue to show strength against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is only up 2%, while the rest of them are doing much better. Chainlink kind of going sideways. I want Chainlink to wake up a little bit here. Uniswap, obviously part of the Ethereum narrative, needs to wake up if we want to see Ethereum do well. And of course, Near Protocol. Guys, if you missed out on my video on Near Protocol, I still feel like it's very, very valid. Near Protocol is still looking like it may want to break out of this bottom range, looking for a higher high scenario. Very, very possible. So be careful, be prepared. Also be prepared to buy those dips if they do happen. There are opportunities right before we start rallying up here, because I feel like the bottom is slowly being built here on the daily time frame. Polygon looking okay, slow grind to the upside, but you can see that a lot of these projects are showing ascending wedges and then stacks. Guys, I thought I was gonna, I thought I should be talking about stacks yesterday. I thought I was gonna, it just looks so good. And the fact is that Stacks is following the Bitcoin narrative, and Stacks obviously considered a bit of almost like a leveraged position against Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin does very well, Stacks also follows, right? Because Stacks is just basically a layer or a side chain of Bitcoin, which means that ultimately it uses the Bitcoin stack, tech stack, but implements smart contracts and many other good features that smart contract platforms offer. So something to consider here is that Stacks is doing well based off of Bitcoin. Now, if we see Bitcoin get a short-term pullback, and basically coming down back again for a confirmation low, a higher low, we could see Stacks also do the same thing, and that would be a good opportunity to basically get into Stacks before Bitcoin actually gets back to the top of the range, which would be at about 72,000. Okay, so just be prepared that Stacks is a good option to get into a position on a Bitcoin narrative project. There are many nowadays, but Stacks is obviously leading the way with regards to popularity and adoption and so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. We do have optimism in many. VeChain is looking good, 6% to the upside. My bags are packed with VeChain a while back. I know they've been going sideways for the last little while, but it's all good. When you have some projects going sideways and you just allocate a bit of capital to them, what you have to consider is that those projects do have the capability of continuation to the like sideways price action, which means stable coin price action, but also have the possibility to wake up and finally start running. And I appreciate that, because that means that if it goes sideways, I'm in a stable scenario, and if it starts to rally, all good, I have the exposure, and that's a very viable strategy. What else do we have here? We have a lot of good projects doing well today. Look at this. We have Aave waking up 7.8%. We have Jasmine Coin up 6%, and there's a lot of good price action today. Mantra doing pretty good, also 12.5%, doing a lot of good price action, guys. So I'm hoping that you were able to get a few positions in, but upon a pullback, that's when you're going to have to get in with a bit of conviction, because on pullbacks, we could see this continuation that we're seeing today to the upside. All right, so let's begin. Let's take a look at charts. Let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Ultimately, Bitcoin is showing a bit of green, obviously showing a bit of green. Let's get some of these oscillators. You can see that the momentum, the trend, the volatility, everything is showing looking very, very strong. Let's look at the momentum here for a second. We got that double bottom. We got a higher low, which is nice. Higher lows here, higher lows everywhere. And then all of a sudden, volatility now is entering again another oversold state. Now, if it gets overbought into this area above the 80% or even above the 70%, which we're already in, you know what? It starts to lead me to believe that we need to be very hesitant here on the daily time frame. It could be that we start rolling over and maybe get another short-term bounce, maybe come down to about 72, and what do I know? Maybe we even come down for a lower low or something like that below this low and come back below the 30% mark, get a final capitulation, and then start moving to the upside. So looking pretty good here for Bitcoin, and ultimately volatility is in our favor. Volatility and momentum is pushing in the same direction, guys. This is what we look for. Momentum, purple line, moving upwards. Volatility, orange line, moving upwards. This is what we wait for. In this case, we're trading all volatility, which in this case is upwards, with the momentum, which is upwards. Very, very bullish, very necessary to find these setups, because when you do, they should be they should be traded. All right, guys, let's move on. We have the trend looking pretty good. We're finally getting a bit of an EMA cross. Hopefully we can close this daily candle today this way, because that would confirm that this green little histogram bar in the EMA cross. So we're going to be patient on that one, but so far so good. And this just means that in the short term, basically on the 4 hour, could we see the momentum and volatility get a bit of a dip? So we were on the downturn for a good little while here. Based on yesterday's TA, we were on the downturn with regards to volatility from here to here, and that's how we got that dip. And currently that's pretty much where we're at. Now we can see that we got a bit of a trend now happening, right? This low right here and this low that we currently made, and you can see that if we start connecting these dots, it does look like a bit of an upwards trend, and it starts to look like maybe this was a bottom and we're getting overbought again. And look at the trend of the momentum line also tapering to the upside, and the expansion right into here tapering to the upside, and maybe we can start seeing a green expansion to the upside. We're getting some green dots, which suggests, you know what, all eyes on Bitcoin on the 4-hour. But just remember, if you get in on the 4-hour, you have to get out on the 4-hour, because the daily is not too bad, and the daily might give us another opportunity for that dip. To be honest, an entry in the 4-hour should be taken very seriously to be considered a holding position for even a daily swing, because the daily is looking like it might want to move to the upside and start breaking out very soon. So maybe you can be using the 4-hour as a great place to find that entry, so you can be buying the dips for a potential reversal here. But just keep in mind, these reversals sometimes they come down for back tests, right? Like this, like the right shoulder head, maybe come down for another right shoulder, back test this zone right around here, about 60,000, 50 or 40, something like that, right around this level, $6,000, $60,000, 58,000, something around here. So maybe we come up, get rejected, come back down, and then pump to the upside. But nonetheless, guys, these are the entries that are really healthy, and this is where you should be DCAing. Now, personally speaking, I'm not looking for Bitcoin positions. I'm looking for altcoins. I'm looking for the volatility. I'm looking for the opportunities here in the market, because Bitcoin has been doing very, very well, while altcoins have been very, very undervalued, which means that we have a lot more potential growth opportunity there into the altcoin market. So let's take a look at KUJI. What's going on with Kujira? What I like about what's happening with Kujira is that not only did it fall and gave us an opportunity to buy on the cheap, but what I do appreciate is that it's currently battling and trying to find a horizontal support. And what better level than the previous price action with tons of volume? As you can see, look at this sideways price action, tons of volume right into here, fell through multiple volume gaps. This was a good buy opportunity based on the previous high, and guess what, guys, it fell even further, and now we're like in a descending wedge scenario. Okay, so let's keep in mind that we're in a descending wedge at horizontal support. Let's take a look at momentum and trend and see what's going on here. The momentum, it got oversold right around this level. Okay, and we can see that the momentum is still grinding to the upside. So class A bullish divergence is still intact, which means that, guys, eventually we should see this thing continue to the upside, or at least get some follow through. We need follow through to the upside so that we can see the price move up, and eventually, after multiple drives of bullish divergence, where we're getting lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum, and in this case even the trend oscillator is showing a divergence, class A bullish divergence, it gives us an indication that eventually the bears should be losing some of that strength and giving the bulls the opportunity to get the ball in their court. Right now we do see volatility oversold. Momentum is moving upwards, which is healthy, because the volatility starts to get oversold and starts to move back to overbought conditions, which means that it's going to be in an uptrend, and momentum is also in the uptrend, and you know the trend itself is in an uptrend. Guys, what can we say? We most likely are going to see a great move eventually out of this zone, out of the daily time frame. Let's take a look at the daily time frame as far as market structure goes. You can see it's a bit of a descending wedge. You know, let's play this out a little bit better, clearer, and let's make this a bit thicker, because now it's becoming more important. And it's becoming more important because as we get closer to the horizontal support, we got to take it more serious. Let's make this size 3 pixels, and you can see the horizontal support right into this level. Right into the wall of supply and demand, right in the zone. Now, if you exclude some of the price action, you can see a volume gap, which we have to respect, right? We respect the emptiness below, but as soon as we introduce the majority of this price action, or all of this price action, you can see that all this market participation was involved here, and that bought the dip and accumulated for this massive rally. And then as we were rallying up, we were getting a bit of a sell-off. You know, we were getting basically rally up, and then right into this level is where we got the sell-off. Let me kind of zoom in here so you can see right here on the double top type of scenario, sell-off. Look at all the volume right into here, right on this level, volume, all the way down. Look at all this heap of volume, basically, to the point that we're getting even more volume right into here, but slowly tapering off, which means that are the sellers done? And it's most likely, as we reach this horizontal support level, we're going to have less sellers and more hodlers. Never mind buyers at this point, we're talking about hodlers. And as soon as we see the hodlers not selling, the sell pressure will end. We'll see the price go sideways a little bit, and we'll get those confirmations, and then all of a sudden we should get some volume suggesting accumulation, making higher lows and higher highs very slowly, seeing those peaks and valleys get stronger and stronger over time. And as the market gets confident with the higher highs and higher lows, the position sizes get bigger, which gives us the opportunity to start building our portfolios as well, to see Kujira get back to previous highs. So if we start looking at what's happening here at the horizontal horizontal support. Really what I'm looking for is some sort of structure. At this point, we're getting tons of bullish divergences, which is very, very nice. But what I would like to see is a structure where I know where I can put a stop loss in very confidently, and a structure that suggests a change of character of this, lower low and lower high price action. So let's keep in mind also on the side note that this is a descending wedge, and descending wedges have a bias to break to the upside, and their target is usually the base, which is right around here, base of the descending wedge. And then before we do that, I believe that it's very, very viable for us to see some sort of change of character, because as of now, lower lows and lower highs, which means that we need to come up, maybe get rejected at the double top, come down, make a higher low, confirmation low, and then all of a sudden break the previous highs and start looking at that as a breakout out of a inverse head and shoulder. And you'll see what I mean. We got the tops right into here. See all this would be the neckline. We got the shoulder, we got the head, we got a shoulder, and then we start breaking to the upside. This is a typical pivot point, especially when you're getting the bullish divergence in a descending wedge. Guys, this is my personal favorite setup in the charts. When I see this type of setup, this is where I start to get excited, because this is where we can start DCAing a bit right here, a bit on the back test, a bit on the breakout, and your overall position will be right into here. No big deal. As soon as we start breaking the volume gap, which, guys, we have a nice little weak spot right into this level, straight up price action right here, straight down price action right here, leaving a massive empty weak spot for the price, in fact, once we get out of this level, to break and hit the zone. And that's where I'm taking profit. That's when I'll be de-risking, taking a bit of profit off the top, trailing up stop losses, and hunting for new positions in other projects. Why? Because it did its move. The majority of the move is already in, and the reality is the risky stuff starts to begin right at these tops. Now, if we do get pullbacks, if we get any type of scenario, I might scale back in. But at the current moment, at this level, if we are able to get in and out and make 170%, maybe even more, it's very likely that I'm going to be taking a bit of profit right at this level, maybe 10 to 20%, trailing up a stop loss, securing my gains, meaning that putting my stop loss well into profit, and waiting for another consolidation. If we get another flag of some sort, a bull flag, that's when I would be interested in getting into my position once again with a stop loss underneath the consolidation and preparing for the next continuation to the upside. I'm just not willing to figure out what happens here while the bears and the bulls battle out this massive volume range. I'd rather let the market resolve itself, and then I'll get in when that is done and confirmed for continuation to the upside. So pretty good here. So what I'm looking for, let's just summarize. Momentum and trend looking great. The only thing that I am looking for at this horizontal is proof that the market is looking for a structure that we can play, a structure that suggests change of character, a structure of which we know where we can invalidate ourselves for a healthy risk to reward ratio and healthy risk management at this level. And then we get in and we hold and we wait, okay? Because ultimately it's a game of patience. If you're going to be looking for riskier positions, you might want to break the trend first, then back test, and then start looking for entries for longs all the way up to about, I would say, $2.40, and that's where I would start getting defensive on my gains. If you're taking over leverage positions or any massive positions all at once, that may be a scenario where you want to be de-risking. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. See you guys tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.